This podcast is brought to you by Independent Building Advice. IBA acknowledges traditional owners of the land and waters this podcast is recorded on. If you find this episode helpful, follow us for more so we can continue putting out free value for all homeowners in Australia. It really goes a long way. Enjoy the episode. The very first episode of the Home Building Podcast.
Hard to believe. A lot of preparation's gone into it. Finally got it here. So exciting times.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a journey. I mean, there's the last couple of months or two, I feel like you've talked to everyone in Perth about this podcast.
Yeah.
So it's a long time coming, I reckon.
Well, there's one thing talking about it. There's another thing actually delivering it. We probably should start by introducing ourselves.
I'm Riley.
I'm Behan. And we've done the Home Building Podcast really to help people make sure they have a great building journey. I mean, building a home should be fun. It should be exciting. It should be, something that you've created a milestone in your life where you've created a monument that's for your family, for you to live in, or maybe investment. And at the end of the day, it's a beautiful project that you've gone through. We want to help people have a great experience.
100%.
And hopefully we can help them on that journey.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the whole purpose of this podcast, right?
Absolutely.
Give everything they need, give everyone what they need to know to have a better journey, a better experience.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I think a big problem that happens with building and renovating and extending, because we cover that as well, is that you get to the end and you can look back, I wish I'd known that, or, I didn't know that was a thing. I didn't know I had drawn that, or, hey, my friends did this and I would have done that myself if I'd known about it. Well, in this, we kind of want to be proactive in doing that and actually solving the problems or giving people ideas before they've even had to think about, actually, that's a great idea, or avoid mistakes and make sure they have a great outcome.
Yeah, imagine if you had the tools before going into that, that journey, and being well equipped because you had someone by your side.
Absolutely. And if we can give that to people out there, we're winning. Yeah. A big thing, and you and I have discussed this many times, but I really think that the building journey should be a positive one. And I think there's so much negativity out there about people, bad experiences or things going wrong or went with the wrong builder or whatever it might be. And you don't have to have a bad journey. You can actually have a great experience if you know what you're doing. But I think the problem out there is you can't really Google, what do I do? There's a few courses out there that are not always that accurate. People go online and they go on these forums and they go, they get advice from people who don't really know what they're doing. And you and I have discussed this before, that we actually look at these podcasts and we go, at these comments and you go, I wouldn't do that, but we don't have time to correct them. Or you do correct them and some expert jumps in and goes, no, you've got to do it that way, you're wrong, and going, well, I've been doing this 25 years, I'm not wrong, but whatever. So if we can actually give people the right information, we can give them really exciting things, I think this is what people really want.
Yeah, and I mean, people will listen, We keep telling, you keep telling me, people don't know what they don't know. And
Absolutely.
When they're going into that building process and they think they know what they're doing, but then they just get let down because they don't have that information. And I think that's a big part of why we're doing what we're doing.
So if we can help a little bit, we're winning. Absolutely.
You said that you've been 25 years in experience in the building industry?
Absolutely. So I work for lots of different building companies in Perth. I've run lots of different consulting parts of that. I'm the director of Independent Building Advice, and obviously you work with Independent Building Advice as well, IBA as we call it. But it's all about giving people independent advice, helping them. We design homes, we guide them, and obviously we've got 21 builders we work with and we help build them homes. But the main part of that is the guidance. We can design amazing homes, we can actually find the right builders, but the guidance of making sure that you avoid the pitfalls, avoid most mistakes is what we're about. And this is, although this isn't named after us, it's a great outlet, the podcast, to actually give lots of information easily. I mean, you look at Instagram, mate. I mean, you're a master of marketing in that sense, and Instagram, you get 1 minute to deliver some tips to people. It's not the best outlet, whereas a podcast, you can talk about it in more depth.
You can actually, have a whole conversation around it.
Absolutely.
That's why we're doing what we're doing, because we can actually go deep into those situations and tell those stories about what happened and what's going on, and obviously our insight on that. So.
Absolutely. But I think also a key here is it's not about you and I talking to a camera or into a microphone about our experiences. We want to bring in lots of experts as we're doing. So we've got lighting experts coming in, we've got skylight experts coming in, flooring people, we have IP people coming in, lawyers, we've got accountants, all sorts of different people, building inspectors, all giving their angle on life about what they think is the best way to go with building, how to avoid these mistakes, issues. So we're going to get all these experts in, we're going to interview them. I think we've got 25 or something already lined up.
Lined up to come on, yeah.
Yeah, so I think hearing from the horse's mouth from the actual experts on the best way to do things, one, it's going to help our education. We know a fair bit, always good to know more, but also get their insight. So then people listening can go, hey, I didn't know that, that's awesome, or I hadn't thought of that, and really make their house awesome.
Yeah.
And that's what we're about.
Yeah. Now, we started IBA. Can you tell me a bit more about why you started IBA? Going back to what you were seeing in the industry and what really kind of triggered you to really take the next step.
Okay, so I was at the gym, and a lot of people question me, are you sure you go to the gym? But I was literally at the gym, I have photos. And I was working out, and the guy who was training me was telling me about his experience building. He's a friend of mine, and he just had all these problems, all these issues. The builder said he was going to do stuff and he didn't. And I was going, well, you should have done this, you should have done that, you should have done this. And he goes, well, I didn't know that. And the reality with that is that, well, he couldn't Google it, he couldn't look it up. It's not his fault he got it wrong. I mean, anybody should be able to go, hey, I want to build a home and have a great experience. And unfortunately, when I look back and I look at all the people I have helped over the years, that a lot of them have just stumbled upon us, and we have helped them, but they were just lucky that we met and we were given the right information. So I thought about that. I went, you know what, I should start a business where we can legitimately help people and work for them, not necessarily the builder. So we can actually help them design the home, do a really good design, look out for all the problems or mistakes that people make, and look out for go above and beyond with the design layout for them, and then give them the right guidance. Like there's so many problems that can happen with building, price rises, delays, hidden costs, etc. But really just go, hey, we're going to avoid all that for you, right? We're going to actually identify all those problems. A lot of experience here, so we've seen them all before. And then once we've identified those problems, we can then go, okay, great, we've avoided them. Let's find a really good builder, do background checks on finance, quality, pricing, the whole thing with our builders that we recommend, and then stay with them right through the whole process. And that allows us to really, avoid mistakes, but if a problem came up, we're there to help them and be that guide for them. And so far, like a lot of our clients are really, really happy, or most of our clients are really happy, or hopefully all, but problems do happen. But at the end of the we really try to be as forthcoming and help them through a really difficult market. And ideally, our goal really there is that they love the process, they enjoy it. And at the end, which a lot of them do, they go, you know what, that wasn't as hard as I thought it was, because they didn't realise how bad it could have been if they didn't have our help.
I think in the 6 months that I've kind of been and known you, right, and been here, it's really opened my eyes up to the problems that a lot of people are facing.
Yeah.
And I didn't realise this to begin with, because I hadn't started looking to build my own home or even buy my own home.
Yeah.
But there are so many different things that go on in that process that I had no idea about. And I feel like I'm not the only one there,
I think most people are. And look, I think there is an element of, if you're naive to a lot of the problems that could happen, it's probably not a bad thing sometimes, because then no one would ever build or renovate or extend. But at the same time, though, that people aren't equipped, so they're walking into a minefield and they don't realise they're doing it. And it's funny, I had a client of ours, who's a friend of mine now, said to me, he goes, look, Behan, what you really need, you need every client to build 2 houses exactly the same next door to each other, one with you, one without, just to realise what you do for them. Because people don't realise the problems you've avoided unless those problems actually occurred and then they solved it, but we were avoiding them, so they in their reality never happened. But yeah, it's just getting the right advice. And the way that the building industry is fundamentally set up, I think, is a bit broken in a lot of ways. That the salespeople that are selling the houses are commission based, most of them, and that means that they are financially incentivized to actually convince you to build a home through them, and you may not be the right fit. And there's a lot of ethical people out there. I'm not saying they're not. There's a lot of really good people out there, but there's a lot that aren't. And if you've got a financial incentive to actually tell someone something, and if you're getting desperate, that's in your best interest, not the client's best interest, well, there's a lot of encouragement to do that if you're getting a big paycheck. So by being third party and independent, that positions us and our consultants and that in a way that we can actually give people the right guidance for them and be unbiased as much as possible on our suggestions for the client.
It really is a beautiful service that we are delivering to people.
Well, we try.
We try. We definitely try. And I think
it's not that easy, but we try. Yeah.
You know, we are trying to make a change,
Yeah.
and I think that's what's I love being about.
Yeah.
Being here. You know?
Absolutely, yeah. And that's what I'm proud of with the people that come on board. Everyone that's been on board, yourself, you've been amazing, that you go, well, you know what, we're actually making a difference out there. I mean, the laws are pretty skew with favouring the builders sometimes with these contracts. Again, the majority of our clients have a great outcome. And if there is a problem, like I said, we're there to help them solve it. And in a lot of these cases, they have no idea how to solve it. Most people wouldn't. And why would you? Because you don't live and do it all the time.
Exactly.
And that's what this podcast is about. Hopefully, people who are listening, we've avoided these problems. And they go, oh, I didn't know that. Oh, I'm going to take that on board. I'm going to do that. And we've saved them. Because our passion really is I just want people to have a great experience building, whether it's through us or someone else or whatever. I just want them to love it, as I love building many times I have, or renovating, extending, to make sure that they've just enjoyed the process. At the end, they go, man, I love my house. I love the process, and it was great.
Because that's what's important, right? At the end of the day, building your home for a lot of people is one of the biggest investments you'll make.
Yep.
So having the right tools and the knowledge that we're hopefully giving to everyone, it's just going to be a better experience for everyone.
Oh, hopefully. We'll see.
Do you think, it's been about 4 years from that IBA has been
just
around,
over 4 years,
just over 4 years. Do you think the industry's gotten better since IBA? Have you seen a change or a shift since, I guess, IBA and the popularity of building brokers have come around? Have you seen a change?
Yeah, there's certainly been a change with building brokers. So unfortunately, the building industry really isn't that regulated, and it should be a lot more regulated in my opinion. In fact, I'm actually surprised it's not more regulated. There's different ways of building a house. So there's the traditional way that most people do with like more project builders, is that you go to a display home or you look online, you see a house you like, you inquire with the builder. The builder goes, salesperson there goes, hey, let's design the home for you. They design it, and in theory, they design the home for you, you love it, and then you get it priced and build. And that's how on paper it's meant to work. And what normally happens is the clients will get 2-3 quotes from different builders. They all have different inclusions, different specification, different layouts, different floor plans. One builder might offer more service or a higher quality, and another might not. But the clients who are not overly familiar with how it all works may just base it on the cheapest price, which may not be the best result, or get confused. One person's saying, we're the best, another one says, we're the best, another one says, we're the best. Well, they can't all be the best. So, and that's the traditional way of doing it. So that's still happening today. Another way is that they go to a designer or an architect, they draw the home up, design the home, fall in love with it, but the designer either doesn't know what things cost or thinks they know what things cost, or from our experience, it's just way off. They get it priced through a builder. A lot of builders won't price it at all because they're going, well, you don't know what it costs. We've got a lot of work to do on that. Unless you pay us money, we'll price it. Or they get it priced and it's 20, 30, 40% over their budget. And that happens a lot. In fact, almost always it's way over their budget when they come to us after they designed it. So that's a problem. So then there's been a rise of building brokers out there. So a building broker is like a finance broker. In theory, they work with lots of different builders. They then go, okay, let's design a home for you, and this is the builder I want to put you through. But there's building brokers, there's building brokers, and there's building brokers. So there's brokers out there that say, I'm a building broker, but they only really work for one builder, and they're a marketing account. And they go, hey, we're a building broker, lots of different builders, but the one builder I think you should go through is this one.
Yeah.
And it's really a bit of a farce. Then you got ones that might work for 2 or 3, and they're just trying to put you through one of those 3. But those builders, none of those builders might be a fit. We've got 21. I think we've got the most of anyone out there, but I'm not sure. But what we do is we genuinely look for the right fit for you. So if you're looking for fully framed timber or steel framed, or you're looking at brick, or you're looking at 2-story, 3-story, single story, you're a first home buyer, you're building a forever home, whatever it might be, we'll then go, okay, for you, these are the right fit for your project. So, for example, we're doing one in City Beach, it's about $2.5 million.
Yeah.
We're also doing a laundry for someone out at Willerton. We're using very different builders for those projects, right? So I think it's really finding the right tool, in this case a builder, that fits the right project. So we're a genuine building broker, although we don't normally use building broker because it's got different connotations, but we just often say we're independent building advice, and we've got 6 different services, and we basically use the right service, whether it's project management right through to design, guiding and building for the right client, depending where they're at.
Yeah, because it changes. Each case is different, right? Everything is not the same.
100%, yeah. That's why you have so many services. I like one, a bit easier.
Yeah.
But if you're halfway through your journey and you're building your home and you're having troubles, we don't need your home designed, you need help building. If you're just starting out and you're going, you know what, I just want it designed properly, I want it designed really well, I want to meet the local council drawings, I want to be someone to think about the layout and the floor plan, the functionality as well as aesthetics, well then that's a different service. So depending on where they're at, and some people just need just a bit of advice. Like, I'm stuck, I don't know what to do. Well, let's have a chat, give some independent help, do this, don't do that, etc. And that's what we're trying to do. We're just trying to really help people. And from that, if we can help you and you want to engage us, great. If we can help you and you don't want to engage, that's fine. Our main goal is really that you have a great experience, and we try our best to do that.
In your experience with everyone that we have worked with, what do you think the most common issue or mistake that they've presented with, when they come to us and that we've had to kind of solve for them?
Okay, so break into 2. So if you look at extending or renovating, the biggest issue, not problem, I guess, or it's not that they made a mistake, is that they just don't know what things cost. So without knowing that, what they do is they go, okay, I want to extend my home, and generally they'll go, I want to push it out here, 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 and here. Mm-hmm. And you go, okay, well, you just spent like $200,000 without doing anything, because it's when you have a structure, trades are really expensive. So if you're doing a small job with trades, it's really incredibly expensive for them to just do a small job. They're going to charge you for travel and the whole thing. If they're doing a bigger job, you get better value for money. So if you're pushing your house out in all different angles, what happens is that you're paying for the home to be carefully demolished in that area. Mm-hmm. You're paying for the trades to come out and build the new bit. You're paying for the roof structure to stay up so it doesn't fall down. And then you're paying to make the old and the new fit each other and look good again. So you're doing 4 lots of little trades coming out doing a job. You spend a heap of money with not getting value for money. So a lot of clients that we speak to goes, I want to do something with my home, I want a new kitchen, bathroom, extend, whatever, and they just don't know what it costs. And then what they do is they'll generally get a designer in, not knocking designers, there's some great designers out there, they'll design it, and the client falls in love, like I said, but it's way over their budget and they just can't afford to do it anyway, and I'll throw that in the bin. Yeah. So we've got our designers that work for us. We try to get it designed properly. We design it, but we also guide them on the price factor. So what they love, what they fall in love with, is also on budget. Yeah.
It works for them, right?
Yeah, or ideally under budget. But yes.
Saving them some money.
That's our goal. I mean, but and it doesn't miraculously be the same as their budget. It is what it is. So when we talk to builders, we give the builders the design, the inclusions. We don't tell our builders the client's budget. Mm-hmm. And we also don't tell them if they're competing or who they're competing with. But the builders know us and they trust us and they know that we know that what we're talking about. So then they know that we're not wasting their time. Because I believe in a win-win-win. The client wins, the builder wins, and we win from that matchup. So it's just trying to do the right thing.
Do you think the builders then, because we approach those builders, or 3 builders we do you think they price knowing that the other people are pricing against them? Because what you'll find is when people go to builders directly, they can just charge kind of whatever. But do you think you kind of save some money because those builders that we work with almost know that other builders are competing for that same job?
Look, I think there's a factor in that. Look, I feel incredibly sorry for the builders because whenever a builder prices a home, they're competing. So with us, they know they're competing, but they also know that I'm aware of what things cost, and we're going to be in the realm. Well, our team knows what things cost. So they've got to be competitive price-wise, but they also have to have enough in there to make sure they're profitable, because, again, you don't want your builder going into strife. So it's a fine line between them. Where they have a real issue with a lot of people is that if you design a home through someone externally and you give them design, almost always, if you speak to any builder, they'll say the same, that what the client's designed and what they want to spend is miles apart. So they spend all this money designing it, takes them weeks to do it, pricing I should say, and it takes them weeks to do it. They get the price back and it's way over their budget, the client doesn't go ahead, and if you've done that the last 15 times, you're probably not going to do it the 16th time. And that's where they're apprehensive. So that's a big part of it with, basically us getting multiple options for them. But at the end of the day, it's a service that we provide to match design, what they fall in love with the price to come together.
That definitely makes sense.
Did that answer your question?
I think so. I think it did. I get it.
Yeah.
In essence, we are, we do intend to help save money going, in the position that we are with builders.
Yeah.
We kind of have almost like that power.
Yeah.
Where the builders know that we have a client, they're working against other builders, they're competing for that home and that job, but we also know what we're doing. So if you try and blow our budget, we know that we're not going to use you again.
Absolutely. Yeah, 100%. Well, we get a price back and we go, okay, that doesn't look right. Can you explain? Have I missed something? Can you tell us something? And generally they go, oh, okay, well that's what we charge for it. So they go, okay, well that's interesting. Or there might be a typo or an issue with it. So because we do this all the time, we have a really strong understanding of what things cost.
We really know what to look for as well.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's always in our client's best interest,
Yeah, I think on average, I did the numbers a while ago. I think on average we save people about $37,000 on average, and a lot of that is we design incredibly efficiently, not boring, but efficiently. So we minimise our perimeter, we maximise our space in our homes, and there's certain ways we do that. We spend a lot of time doing that. We try to avoid as many hips and valleys as we can in the roof, which all costs money. It just all adds up. So we're very budget conscious, but not in a way of building a boring house. We will build an exciting home, but another way to put that is we want to give you the best home that your money can buy. Okay?
Yeah, pretty much.
Absolutely. But when we go to a builder and we talk to them about what they want, most builders, when we first approach them, will go, oh, mate, I don't know about this. And I've had building brokers before and they're dodgy, and some of them may be. And they're all about themselves. But I really do believe in the win-win-win. So what we do is when we approach a builder, generally the apprehension of the first one, we meet with them, talk to them, tell them what we're about. After a while, they go, yeah, okay, you guys seem like decent people. We go, cool, we like you too. And then when they normally price the first one and when they win one, normally about 3 to 4 weeks later, they'll come back to us and go, do you have any more clients like that? Do you have any more clients that, because they were pretty cool? I go, yeah, absolutely. Because what we've done is we've actually designed the home properly. We've got the client to buy in and love the design too. So when they actually sign up with a builder, they actually love the design. They don't really want to make changes. They still want to choose their colours and that. They really love the builder. They're actually motivated. They're committed, and they're also educated on the building process. So, the time frames that we've given them are real time frames. They're not made up or they're not lied to. They're actually real. The hidden costs we've allowed for. So when the client, their eyes are wide open, and the builders go, oh my gosh, this is like amazing. This is what we're trying to do, because we're experts in that consulting part of it and making sure the client loves what it does. So when they see it, they get it. So they're basically getting a free client that's done all those things. Now, the builder has to jump through hoops for us because we have a very strict criteria they have to meet.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, if they meet that criteria and they get after the first one, they're not skeptical anymore. They go, this is good stuff. We want more, because they're good clients. And the client wins because they're going to a builder that, one, has been vetted. We're not just Googling a building and go, hey, they sound great, let's give them a go. But they've been vetted properly. They're also a good builder in the sense that they've met with them, they like them. One of our 7 criteria, and it's probably our most important one, is would we build with them ourselves?
Personal preference.
Oh, 100%, mate. Yeah. Like, if you meet someone and they might tick every box, but you don't like them.
What's the point of building with them?
It's a long journey. Like, why would you do that? If you hate someone, you're going to go on a 12-hour car ride, you wouldn't want to be in the car with them. And that's a big thing of it. But they get this builder that is vetted, that's got good systems, processes, communication, good value, good build, good quality, good communication. That is what I would want. And then everyone wins. And then if we have a good marriage between the client and the builder, we win because we're bringing it all together. So it's good.
Yeah. Out of kind of all of the mistakes that people are making, or the ones that we essentially are helping solve, what would you say your top 3 ones would be? Most common mistakes.
Okay, most common mistakes is it's just not being able to read a plan. Yeah. And that is so normal. And if anyone feels bad about that, that is completely normal. It really is. In fact, if you can read a plan, I would be blown away. So common mistakes is they get a plan or floor plan. A lot of people send us their plans for feedback, and we're like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. And some of these people have spent $30,000, $40,000 with an architect, and we go, there are so many bad things here. Not knocking architects, some brilliant architects out there, and there's some of them that blow my mind. But a lot of that does happen where clients go, I didn't know I was getting that or problem. So one is identifying those, having someone with fresh eyes looking at it and going, did you realise you're getting this? And some clients will go yes or no. So that's a major part, is getting that design right. Are the room sizes a good size? Is it furnishable? Is it functional? Can you entertain there? How does the indoor, outdoor relate? All this kind of stuff. So that's getting the design right. That's a major part of it. Two, like I was saying earlier, designing a home that is actually in budget. That's just a lot of wasted money there. We did, I think it was November last year, we did these numbers, of all the jobs that had come to us after they've been designed, that we've gone out to get priced, that we had to throw in the bin because they were way over budget, wasted was $1.8 million. Just literally throw in the bin because they designed it 20, 30, 40% over their budget in the bin.
And we've saved them collectively.
We've had to start again. We've had to start again because the design was so far past it. Yeah. And in fact, if you were to ask any builder on the street, is this common? They'd go, it's common all the time. Yeah. And it's that factor of design and knowing what the costs are within reason. Like, we're not pinpoint accurate at this point, but give them the guide. That's the key to both of these. And that's what we do. We have what we call a client advocate. They work with the client all the way through the process, and their job is to really just look out for the client's needs and wants all the way through. And if the client's making a mistake, tell them. Even if it's a design mistake, you think about doing it? I really don't think you should do that, and this is why. But then ultimately it's client's decision, but it's just really that guidance. And really the third one there is really their not knowing the costs as far as hidden costs. So I've got all these things included. I didn't know about electrical extra. Like, every builder includes PowerPoints and things like connections to your home and lights, but you get one light per room normally, or one double PowerPoint. It's that we're going to have to upgrade that. So we allow money to upgrade that. It might be that your standard specification with the builder is really cheap and you have to upgrade everything. We try to understand it with the clients. We allow things like pot drawers, overhead cupboards, stone tops, most of the big ticket items up front. So when they sign with the builder, they know most of the big ticket stuff. But at that point, they might not have worked out colours, or it might be a little bit finessing when they get to their interior design a bit later down the track. But it's really just trying to give them as much or as close to their final budget as possible up front. So when they go through the process, they love it. So ideally, they go to pre-start with their interior designer. They leave that and go, hey, we haven't spent anything over our budget because we've been real with them up front.
Do you find that happens a lot? People that go to pre-start will tend to add a lot of value or a lot of money on top of their budget because they just weren't aware? Yeah,
they can do it. Look, it's so hard to predict. We try to get to know you as best we can. We don't know if you want gold-plated door handles throughout your house. Probably should ask that question, but if you do that, we haven't allowed that. Yeah. I've had clients where we've allowed $5,000 and they spent $2,000, right? And I've had clients I'm going to allow $40,000 for pre-start because it's going to be expensive, and they spent $400,000.
Yeah, wow.
But I don't know how you can spend $400,000. It actually blows my mind. I've gone, how did you use that number? Did you, what?
400,000.
Absolutely. But the point is, though, that we try our best to get there. We don't know, but we do try to give you a buffer. So we try to go, okay, knowing you, and we've included a lot of stuff already itemised in the price. We go, okay, well, there's other things that you want. Judging by you got expensive taste or whatever it might, let's allow a bit more money for you, and this should cover you, but
it's not a guarantee, right?
No, it's not. Yeah. But we do try. It's like I use the analogy all the time. It's like golf. You tee off. You want to get a hole in one, but we want to get if we can't get a hole in one, we want to get you as close to the hole as possible, and that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to get you as close to what your final thing will be with the information we have at the time, and we can't do it all up front because it'll be there forever. So we do things. So we just try to get to know you and get understanding and try and allow money. And if things aren't included in the contract, we'll then create a separate list for you of things that you'll do afterwards, but what rough costs are. So when you go into it, you know what you're getting into. Okay, our landscaping is not included, fencing. Okay, well, allow $50,000 or $20,000, whatever it might be, to make sure that that's catered for. Got a pool. Okay, it's another $50,000. Okay, so we'll put all that aside. So again, we try to make it as transparent as possible.
So there's no surprises when you're going into that,
as best as possible. As best as possible. We've gone to people's backyards and we found literal cars buried in the backyard. Well, I didn't predict that. I did not see that. No dead bodies.
How can you predict that?
That's exactly right. So what do? So you go there, you go, okay, but within reason, we see most things.
Yeah.
We had a lady 18 months ago, I think it was. She got she signed up with a builder, and she got a $25,000 price rise. And in that price rise, the builder sent it to her, and they were really nervous because, and she got it, the email, and she went, oh, thank God, that's awesome. Signed it straight away, sent it back, and was so happy.
Yeah.
And the builder went, that's weird. Like, we thought you'd have a full argument. What the builder didn't know, I told the client it would be $30,000 because the land that they had already been delayed. The developer said it would be coming out in February, and I said they're normally about 3 or 4 months later. So I said, let's allow 1% more over that, and then it came in about 4 or 5 months later. So I had said, let's allow $30,000 more. Don't tell the builder. Keep that up your sleeve. If the builder gives you a price rise, you've got it there. But if they don't, it's a bonus. And she went, yeah, okay. And then when they gave him 25 grand, she goes, mate, I'm $5 in front. Awesome. Bang, signed, done.
That's amazing.
Because I've been doing this so long, our team's been doing this so long, we can go, okay, we know what's coming up. What would normally happen, unfortunately, with a lot of people is they would go, look, you'd be right. You won't get a price rise. You're fine. And hoping that the client's so committed by that point and so invested that they'll find the extra $25,000. And that's a horrible experience. You feel like you're being ripped off. So we try to predict things as best as possible.
As best as we can, right? To minimise the surprise.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have a crystal ball that works. So, one step at a time.
Now, we want to start a question tradition on this podcast, where we'll be asking our guests what they would do to bring that wow factor to their home and or dramatically improve it, but they only have $10,000.
Okay.
Ben, what would you do? Say if you had, your auntie randomly just gave you $10,000 and you had to pick one thing to improve your home, but you only had $10,000.
Oh, Riley, you just threw this question on me. I had no idea. Oh, wait a second. I did know that. Yes, I have forewarning of this question. But look, it's a great question because you could spend it on absolutely anything. And it's cool that we're going to ask all our guests this because it's actually really interesting because we've got skylight experts coming in and most of them are probably going to say, oh, my product for $10,000 is the best product. But we've also got people coming up like building inspectors and lawyers and these kind of people, just giving their different vantage points, what we're talking about with them. I'll be fascinated to see what they say because they might come up with something like left field, awesome artwork or... Because
it's technically not in their domain, right? They don't build homes.
Exactly right.
What would they want for 10 grand?
That's exactly right. And I reckon we're going to get some really surprising answers. So I'm actually really looking forward to hear what people say about this. Yeah. But for me, look, I go through a lot of houses and, to be quite frank, some homes I find quite predictable and people are showing me their bedroom and stuff. And look, it's cool. It's passionate for them. I love it. But it's a lovely bedroom. But every time, like 100% of the time, we do this for a lot of our clients too. When you walk into the kitchen area and you just see this epic, huge skylight that's over the kitchen bench, over the living area, there's all these lights pouring in. And, that to me just every time, 100% of the time, it blows me away. And I'm not talking about those little, solar tubes that you see in bathroom. I'm seeing like a really big one, on an electric light where the blind is closed by, your phone, Bluetooth, whatever. So at night you can close it off or during the day, whichever. But, you imagine you're in your kitchen, there's like a big lightning storm, and you're looking up in this lightning storm, it'd be amazing. Look at the stars, it'd be beautiful. But also light, I love designs and homes that are light and bright. I just like, when I come home, I feel happy and the house makes me feel
Has
happy.
That natural light to it.
Absolutely. And if you have a dark kitchen and a skylight, it's just going to make that light and happy. So I love that feel. So that's what I do. But the great thing is that a skylight like that might cost you $3 or $4 grand. So I would have a few of those, one in the ensuite bathroom or something like that. So skylights is probably...
It's your go-to?
Yeah, absolutely. They just blow me away every way. I've been doing this 25 years and still see them and love them. And every client I've ever done one for, and you'll find if you get me designing your house that I'll be, skylight. But every client I've ever done it for has gone, this is one of the best things we've ever done. So I think it's great.
Yeah, I think we definitely have some great feedback from our clients that have had skylights put in.
Yep.
No complaints.
Oh, it's amazing.
It really does make that difference to the home, right?
But I do think you need to get the blind on it though, the auto blind, because if you don't, then it's bright day, it's hot middle of summer, and normally the Velux ones have 5mm glass and they're double glazed, but you still got the heat coming through. You want to be able to close that off, or if you're watching a movie during the day, you don't want the glare on the screen, you can't see anything. So the blind's key. Whether you have an opening and closing one, I think is different, but I don't think you do, but each to their own. But I think,
But you could spend 10 grand to
I can make it work. I can make it work. I'll squeeze it, So Riley, that's an excellent question to me. back to you, same question. You're designing a home, the whole thing, you love it. You know, you're about to sign off on it. All of a sudden, your auntie or uncle rings up and goes, hey, here's that $10,000 I forgot to give you. You know, whatever, I found it in my bank account. And you have to, by law, you have to spend that on your house.
Yeah.
What would you spend it on?
Man, I'm pretty fond of the skylights too. But the houses that, you know, I've been in since I started working here and seeing these new designs and renovations, I really like the tall ceilings, like the high ceilings, especially the raking ones.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about them, but it just makes the room feel so much bigger than it usually would.
Yeah.
You go into a home and then, you know, you got normal height ceilings and it just feels so boxed.
Yeah.
But the tall ceilings, the high ceilings, especially the raking ones, just make it feel so much bigger.
Yeah, the raking one, I mean, the raking one's probably a bit more than 10 grand, but the high ceiling,
high ceiling,
if you can get it for 10 grand, take it.
Yeah.
But the high ceilings, I do agree. I mean, a standard height ceilings, I think it was 28 courses and one course 86 mils. But to go that extra high makes a difference. But I think you're talking about the really high ones where you're looking over 3 meters.
Yeah.
And you're right, you go into those areas and it's got that huge wow factor. You go, oh my gosh, this room feels spacious and light and fantastic. And yeah.
I mean, you walked into like a cathedral or a church, right?
Yeah.
And you can see how tall those buildings are, those ceilings.
Yeah.
Just makes you feel, I don't know, not small, but you're part of something bigger. And
it's grand.
It's grand, yeah. And if your home makes you feel that way.
Yeah, I think you're spot on. I think you could have an average home and have the high ceilings, and it just goes wow. Yeah. My wife and I designed a house many moons ago, and in that home we had the floor went along and the floor dropped about half a metre, and the ceiling stayed the same height. And I used to purposely walk down the hallway first, open the door, and guests coming in for the first time, they'd see it, and everyone go, oh, wow, this is amazing. It's so subtle, it's so basic, but awesome. I think it's a great choice. Well done.
Thank you. That's what I would do.
Well, it's your choice.
My uncle, auntie randomly gave me 10K they forgot about.
Yeah. I was still waiting for the check for mine, but it's not coming yet.
Me too. Yeah. Well, I think that's a great way of wrapping up the first episode, man.
Yeah, magic. Awesome. Thank you. And Riley, it's exciting to do this with you.
So exciting.
What I'm excited also for people who are listening is that we are going to have lots of guests. Like I said, we've got about 25 lined up now. We're going to do different podcasts with different people. That something might not be of interest to somebody today. Like, for example, when we have a landscaper on, someone might go, I'm not interested in landscape. I'm trying to work out my bathroom layout.
Yeah.
However, it might be that when they're at that stage, they might look up the categories and catalog and go, okay, oh yeah, landscaper, what did that guy say about it?
Yeah.
And that's where I feel that there's such a broad spectrum. We could probably do 10,000 episodes and still not cover half the topics. But I think if we can keep people excited, inject some inspiration for them, some wow into their house where they go, oh, that's a great idea, I didn't think about that, then our mission is accomplished.
And really uncovering those real stories, those raw stories, and even from clients' perspectives, you know, bringing clients on, telling their story. You know, it's gonna
absolutely.
It's going to be such a great journey, and I'm so excited for this.
I love it because people don't want to hear our voices; they want to hear voices of other people
and true stories.
We just have to handpick who those people are. No, I'm joking. No. But we want to get ones that actually. There's actually a mate of mine that I want to get on, and he went through the owner builder process. And it was actually really, because I mates with him and I was watching him do it. And it was a great experience and a terrible experience, depending which lens you look through it. So having those people on board and seeing what they went through and the wins they had and the things they wish they knew in hindsight, all that's going to help help give the audience a broader view. But again, I think, and you and I have spoken about this a lot, I think it's really important that I want to bring the happiness back into building and the excitement, not the fear. You know, it's more about, hey, this is going to be an amazing journey. Because what's really cool, and just so I know we're wrapping up, but what's really cool about building, and you can see I'm pretty passionate about it, is you're building a home for yourself. Like it's your castle, so to speak, that you're building for your family and for you. And I love, like my home was built in 1939 and I didn't build it. But when it was built in 1939, I look back and look at how many families and history and like legacies have all been in this home before. And people building a home today, 100 years later, what are those people going to be living in the home? So I love the romantic side of that, you know, I've helped people 25 years ago, some of them still live in their houses today. It's pretty cool, you know, you're building permanent structures on this earth. I like it.
Yeah, it is pretty, you know, amazing how long these structures have been there.
Yeah.
And you could have your home there for the next 100 years.
Yeah, and it's got
200 years.
the stories that are in that home. It's awesome. Yeah. Hopefully good stories. But yeah.
Well, if you've made it this far, thank you for following along.
Yep.
Give us a follow and share it with anyone that is building it right now, or if you need help building.
Absolutely. What's also be awesome would be a review. If you leave a review, that would be great because we want the feedback.
Our first episode, give us as
we
much.
Need it.
We do need it. But yeah, no, we wrapped it up.
Awesome. Thanks very much. Well done, Rolly.